Hey, we're over here at the Andrews Ranch. We just shot a couple of hogs, and as you can see, they're probably about 100 to 120 pounds. And normally I hunt by myself, and because of that, I came up with a way to load these pigs onto four-wheelers by myself. As you can see, they're big enough that I'm probably going to have a little bit of trouble, but what I'm going to show you today is how to use what I call the game handler. It's something I invented exclusively for loading up animals onto the back of a four-wheeler, so you don't have to drag them back to camp. The game handler is a couple of straps that have been modified, and when used, they allow you to pick up your game, put them on the back of your four-wheeler or your truck or your quad. You'll have about a 6-foot long strap. It's got a set of handles. It also has a clip with a handle, hence the name game handler. Gives you some handles that you can hold on to while pulling your pig or picking him up, or your deer, or your whatever game you're hunting, antelope or whatever you're hunting. Let me show you how it works. First, I have to get this pig over here by the four-wheeler. I don't know how easy that's going to be. As you can see, it's been raining. It's just muddy. I have nothing to hold on to this pig with to drag it. So what I can do, if I want to drag it with the game handler, I can take this hooked end, go around the animal, then I can use the handles to drag the animal. Now that I got my hog over here next to my four-wheelers, you can see the legs are facing away from the four-wheeler. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the straps to hook onto the hog and use these handles to pick him up. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hook the hooked end of the strap to my four-wheeler or to my truck or to my ATV or whatever I have. And because I've done this several times on my four-wheeler, I know how I like to hook it. And you'll probably have to just figure out what works best for you.
Ready.
So I'm going to hook it onto my four-wheeler. Then I'm going to take the clipped end. I'm going to go up underneath the hog, come back and hook it to the D-ring. You need to give yourself enough slack so this D-ring is somewhere close to the back of the animal, be it a hog or a deer or whatever it is. And just to show you real quick, there's no way I could get this animal on this four-wheeler by myself, even though it's probably only about 100 pounds. So what I'm going to do, take this game handler, wrap it around this part of the animal, I want to make sure that the handles are away from the body and that they're facing the ground, because I'm going to use those handles in a minute. I'm going to clip it onto the D-ring. I'm going to pull it tight. I want it good and tight around the animal. I want the D-ring back here close to the back of the animal. I'll take my second strap. We'll do the same thing. This guy is muddy. I'll hook it to my four-wheeler the way I like to hook it. Undo my clip. Give it some slack, enough to get it down to about the back of the animal. This is not a time thing, so you take your time, do it right. Hook it onto your D-ring, pull your strap tight, get that D-ring around the backbone of the animal. Make sure it's good and tight so it doesn't slip on the animal. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the handles so I can pick up the animal and load them on the back of my four-wheeler. Got a series of handles, a couple at the top and a couple on the back side. So the first thing I want to do is I want to grab the handles. Again, I want to make sure that everything's tight. I'm going to grab the handles. I'm going to pick the hog up. Just a couple of inches, enough just to get it off the ground. And then I'm going to pull my strap tight. Pull the slack out of my strap. I'm going to do the same thing to the front. Now I'm not going to pull the strap until I pick the animal up. All I want to do is pull the slack out of this strap. Now what happens is as you get the weight up, it actually becomes easier to pick up because the weight is starting to distribute itself on each pivot point. You're not having to pick up the whole animal. You can also just put your hand in the strap if you can, but most of the time you can't, especially on a hog. So now I'll reach down a little further and get this other strap. I keep doing that. Now my four-wheeler has these fenders that keeps getting in the way, and yours may have some obstacles too, but just learn to work around them. So I pick it up. Now I can use my knee if I want to. And I've got the animal close to the back of my four-wheeler rack. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach up underneath the animal. Those straps that are on the handle on the back side, I'm going to reach up underneath it, grab the straps, stand up and roll the animal up onto my rack. That's why you needed to make those straps where the handles are away from the animal. So when you reach underneath here, you can find them fairly easy. You want to reach up as far as you can, then roll your animal up on your four-wheeler. See, without the game handler, I'd have never got this hog up on this four-wheeler. What's also really neat about the game handlers, you don't have to take these straps off. You can actually use them to secure the animal to the four-wheeler. So what I'm going to do is I want to disconnect my strap. I'll take the slack out of it. I drop it down in my rack. Put it to the other side. And now I've got him strapped onto my rack. I'll do the same thing to the next one and I'm ready to go. Okay, now this one's ready to go. But I have two hogs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to load the second one to where it can ride on the back of the four-wheeler. What I'm going to do with this one here is I'm actually going to pick it up to about this level right here and I'm going to let it hang. I'm going to drive back to the camp with it hanging here. Now I could put it on the front rack, but I'm going to use the strap and this animal here to hold this one on and I'll be able to drive with that one. So I'm going to load it the same way. I'm going to take the strap, put it underneath the hog with the handles away from the animal. I'll hook my D-ring. Pick the weight off the ground, pull the slack out of the strap. I got the hair of the animal getting caught up in the bundle, in the buckle. Now we're headed back to camp.